Hey folks, welcome to the new Whiskey Wednesday studio. This is how it starts. A chair and a guitar and one mic. And it has built from there. Give you a little overview here of what we've got going on. Give you a little run around the studio. So we have taken great strides to get this all working. And I'm going to give you a quick run through of it here. This is the board. This is the Tascam M24. It's a lovely board. It's great for doing live shows. It's got an analog compressor and EQ section, which is really nice. But it does have this little hard drive built in over here, so you can record all your tracks simultaneously, then export them or mix them in this if you want to. So what we do is we have 6 channels of audio going in here, which is not a lot. And what we've done with the mics, for the most part, we're going with a sort of a more of a far mic'd view rather than close miking. You know, the vocal mic is a good sort of foot to 2 feet away from me. The same with the guys with those 2 mics there. I use this for the banjo just because I can move that in a little closer. And from here I have access to all of these mics to drag them a little closer to me if I want a more close thing. I can even just use my foot to push them out when I'm not using them. The beauty of this setup is that it does keep a nice clear walk space here for the musicians. As you can see, we are in our front office, or the library of the house. This is where our washer and dryer is, but in the only scene that shows the washer and dryer is one that shows a reflection, and there you go. And when you see the reflection, you just see the flag. So we've been careful to cover the angle so that you don't know that we're in the laundry room, but now I've gotten rid of that secret. We have kept one square right here. That is where the long tooth lager keg is going to go. Other than that, everything is where it is. We got Neil's position with his guitar. We've got an amp for him there when he needs to plug in. I'm here with my guitar, 2 guitars, electric and acoustic. The trainer is going into just a 57 there into the board. Mr. Gramp is using this amazing trainer amp, which has a DI out on it. It's a 6-inch speaker. The small block 106 is one of my favorite guitar amps for, well, tiny bass amps. And we're using the gold tone band guitar as well. So that's the instruments we're using. Mics are pretty standard. There's an Apex, a Rode, this Lewitt I love, an SM57. I'll probably bring down some of my more high-end mics, but right now they're being used to record some drums. So this is the bookcase, which contains my youth, some stuff around. So all of that comes over here into the Tascam M24, which is a lovely unit. Out of the Tascam M24, it gets mixed. Now this is where it gets interesting. How do you get that sound out to the internet? And how do you get the video out to the internet? Well, you take your mix from here, using your headphones out, go into mic in on the ATEM Extreme. Now this is the newest piece of hardware that we've got. This is called the ATEM Mini Extreme. This gives you 8 channels through the back here of HDMI inputs. What I have done is I've taken each of our old cell phones. You can see I've got a bunch of them around the room, and I've framed them for every person. So let's go back a little bit. The ATEM has a HDMI out, which goes to this television. And as you can see there, you can see all 6 of the cameras, the statuses of recording and broadcasting. Up in the top right, you can see the program. So as I press buttons here, these buttons here, it goes from each camera. And the top right, where the cameras are changing, if I put it on program view, you'll see the whole thing. And then we can go from camera to camera, put in an automatic fade so that it's a little smoother in the transitions. And what you see on the screen above there, which is what Barry is watching, that is what will be broadcast. So we have 8 inputs of HDMI going in here, of which I'm using 6. Those HDMI inputs are coming from cell phones using Filmic Pro, which is a really nice piece of film software. It gives you lots of control over the balances and stuff pretty easily, which the Apple camera does not. It also has a HDMI clean output built into the software. So you can use one of these dongles, keep your phone charged while sending an HDMI output. And the HDMI output Sorry, we just had a glitch there. Allison got a message on her phone, which I'm using because my phone is up there, and it stopped the recording. So we're recording again. So you take your iPhone, you can have up to 8 of them, and you plug it into this little dongle here, splits it to HDMI and sends it power, so you don't need to worry about it going out. And then it comes over to here, and you do your switching from there. Pretty straightforward. Your audio comes out from your iPhones and plugs into this as well. And you can control your audio. It's on mic 1. You can turn it off or on. So if Barry needs to mute the band when we're playing a video, he just turns it off if he wants to be on while we're playing. And you can adjust the volumes up and down through there. There is a proprietary software, which I will open now so you can see what that looks like too. It's amazing. You've got switcher controls in here, and then you've got your media bank controls in there, your audio, so you can see which channels are running in audio and which ones aren't through your HDMI. And then you've got your camera controls if you happen to be using a Blackmagic camera, which is amazing as well. So we've got our audio mixed. It comes into here nice and clean. Remember to check your gain stages all the way. The headphone out is pretty hot, so you might want to, like over here, I had to bring the mic gain down by about, what does it say? By about almost 30 dB to get it to sort of sit at a nice level. So that's good there. And then you've got your changes over there as well. Pretty straightforward when you're on a record. You just hit record. I am recording to look at this thing. This is the new Juggler, the Delkin Juggler. This is a 1 terabyte drive. It is the fastest thing I've ever seen. It plugs in, it records hours and hours and hours of video. So you press record, and that records whatever's coming through the camera directly to you. You hit on air, and it'll broadcast directly to the internet. I did have to reach out to Eastlink and get them to come put a new box down here, which I plugged in via Ethernet cable. Blah, blah, blah. I know this is a lot of boring stuff. For those of you interested, though, it makes a lot of, it's a pretty impressive thing, because it took a lot of figuring out to get this gear together, thanks to the folks at AV Shop Canada. Kevin Snow helped me out with all this stuff. So we've got the M24 going into the ATEM Mini. We have all of these cameras going into it. One of the things that the ATEM Mini can't do is play back videos. A lot of people get a dedicated video player. What I have done is I've taken my oldest cell phone, I put the 3 videos on it, the intro, the begging for money, and the outro video. And if I've got that plugged into channel 8. So if I put it on channel 8, you'll see that it comes up on the screen there. And as soon as I play a video, boom, the video starts playing. And, no, that's not a video, sorry, here we go. Boom, the video starts playing and the audio is going in as well. So there's the way that the video switching works on this. Again, it's just an old cell phone plugged into an HDMI and into one of the channels. So you can save yourself a ton of money on buying one of those, sort of Stream Decky type things that you fill with media and play it back if you've got another cell phone. So, I mean, that's kind of it. No, it's not. Hold on a sec. Let me just make sure I've covered everything. You don't need the software to control the ATEM. It can control all of itself, but the software does help to make its tweaking. And of course, I'm running the ART voice channel. I've got my mic, my main mic plugged into that. I find this to be a really nice tool as well. So let's just take a look at some lighting here. I bought these lights, 2 little lighting things that they're on very low. There's just the 2 of them here. And when I mix them with a little fill from a blue or a red, come on. Oh, I just have that one unplugged. Blue or red light filling in on the side a little bit. These are beautiful lamps. They are fairly inexpensive. It is the ICANN brand, recommended again by Kevin at AV Works. So when you're sitting here, you see, it's still pretty nice. There are cameras around, but they're small, they're tiny, they're not invasive. It's a really nice place to sit, to play music. It's fairly roomy, which is also really good. We got some basic lighting in here, which isn't blinding. We've got the TV monitor, and then we've got all of the flowers and plants and other stuff around. I think I've covered most of my issues here. These little dongles here, you can get them from Apple. I think with tax, they're about $100. I got them on eBay, 3 for $75. They do get a little hot. I'm not sure how long they're going to last, but I'm going to try them out for a while because, I do need 6 or 7 of them here. Again, these clamps are the iRig clamp for the from the IK Media. They work really well. You can put your phones on mic stands or whatever you want, or you can buy a dedicated little stand like this one here, which is pretty cheap, or a little desk stand like that one there, which I use for Neil's. One of the important things, one of the hardest things to do is cable management. As you can see, I've spent a lot of time getting the cables so that on the floor there's just the one cable going from my amp and the one cable going from the ATEM over to the TV monitor. Those cables get wrapped and put away when there's no show happening, so it keeps this place clear and clean. This is the cable table. This is where I do all my power from. It's a lot of power to come out of one source, and splitting it all up is pretty important. Now, as I said, these little dongles and stuff gets hot, and these phones actually run quite hot because of their because they're doing so much processing. So I like to have everything. At the end of the night when I come in, I have all this set up, all these powers. One switch turns off everything that might overheat. My dad was a fireman, and I grew up unplugging everything in the house. I can't do that anymore, but I do have the one switch, and on specifically high OCD days, I actually unplug this one bar right there from the other one, and that way nothing in the room is plugged in. I have one extension cord back here that has two things plugged into it, controls my guitar amp, Mr. Grant, and these lights up here. And then over here, I have one power bar that I can turn off. So at the end of the night, when it's time to shut down, there's a one turn off there, one unplug there, one turn off there, and there is no power going to anything. There you go, Dad, it's all safe. Anyways, welcome to the new studio. I hope you enjoy the new broadcast. We are tweaking information as we go and tweaking, lighting and all that stuff. But this gives you an idea of what we're working with. The ATEM Mini Extreme, 8 channels of HDMI input, fully switchable. You can use your iPhone cameras. I will eventually move up to Blackmagic cameras so I can get some movement and stuff going. Any type of mixer will do. We are using the Model 24, as I said. Anyways, folks, I hope that's all good. And of course, we keep this giant 810 here because when we're playing really quietly, it's nice for Mr. Grant to shake the room. Just kidding. No, we don't use that. That's my touring rig. And I have one camera back here for the wide shot as well. So from up here, you get a nice wide shot of the room. I hope you all have enjoyed this. Welcome to the Whiskey Wednesday News Studio. Cheers.